1,000 or so should do, and take it to Haarlem. So it was cloth I was doing. I hope it was. McBain. Alright, but we dealt with the West. We knocked off Hamburg. Didn't knock off Hamburg. Okay, was I completely ridiculously stupid? Probably. Why would capping cities at 10k be beneficial? Because it gives me more control over building this initial equilibrium. Then I'm going to mass a lot of wood and brick and build up everything. And that's going to be incredibly expensive and use millions of wood and brick. So I need a lot of resources. Okay, the Thrillhow doesn't matter because that's a feeder. Then there's the fish. Okay, fish center is fine. Fish is only produced over in the west. And, excuse me, incidentally, the only place producing fish on my current setup is Haarlem. And when it comes to fish, they are king. Now, later on, I'm going to have 4 cities producing fish, but that is later on. I can worry about that then. For now, though, Fish West needs to drop Haarlem. Now, this is probably going to mean that because I don't have these extra shipments picking up the extra fish, that it's going to mount up. Same for bricks and whatever else. This is fine. This tells me that I need more ships to carry it to the hub. Things should be going to the hub, even though it might be more efficient to have it. Otherwise, it's more better, management-wise, to have it all in the hub. The guards are exempt from this, so are all feeders. Now, grain. Grain is produced in a lot of places. Over in the west, it's produced in Nimwegen, but they don't... Wait, no, I'm looking at hemp again. Groningen. Groningen is the only one I need to drop off in the west. So I grab it, I drag it down, and then I snip it. The center, actually Aalborg, can be snipped off. Just Aalborg, I mean the center. Rostock do it, but that's fine because, well, when you are the hub, you get certain privileges. The west, again it is Groningen. Am I getting that right, Dutch people? Your names are stupid, by the way. Nobody produces grain in the east, so that's fine. Grain train west, and west again. We go to Groningen, and we murder it. And west one more time, because it makes sense. In the west, we produce not only grain, but all the beer, so it makes sense that there's a lot of snipping to do over there. Haarlem does lots of things. Ham, I just think that's a meat wagon, but no, ham is Hamburg. Is it by design that Bruges is skipped with the brick dispersal? How far back are you in this that's what you're looking at? Brick, west, Bruges. Touché. Bruges should be between London and Groningen. It would have been missed out because it actually produces its own bricks. However, I don't produce bricks there, and I'm the only one that matters. Bruges is 100% metal, as well they should be. Where's the other brick west? I'm sure there'd be other ones. The west is huge. It wouldn't be satisfied not having that. Alright, again, Bruges is between London and Groningen in this case. Click. That was very well spotted. Who said that? Sand4_. Good job. Jake, it's more of an O than more. So what? Groningen? Freaking Dutch. Yeah, no, not even joking there, Sand4. That was an excellent catch. Bruges would have been starving for bricks for a long time, and I would have been clueless as to why. Okay, hemp. Hemp is produced primarily in Groningen and Bremen, but also Nechtved. So Nimwegen is a supply depot, that doesn't matter. Bremen matters quite a bit, but that's over in the west. Nechtved is center, so east is fine, is what I'm getting at. West, though, Bremen. Bremen's gotta go. Snip. And in the center, Nevsted has to go. And we bring out a lot of hemp, so that's okay. What was it again? Bruges? No, it wasn't Bruges, it was Bremen. Away you go. And the virtual bark strikes again. Once again, Bremen, they produce 600 hemp a day, so they don't need to do that. Alright, honey. Honey is produced where exactly? A little bit in Scarborough, but that is probably not enough for them, so I'm actually going to keep them on this route because they produce a pathetically low amount of honey. So who do I have to worry about? Cologne I don't need to worry about, they're a supply. And then there's what? Lübeck. So just the center, that's all I have to worry about. So not the east, not the west, just the center. Now you could say I don't need to worry about you because you take it all in, but the honey goes from Cologne to you, and if I stop at you both with honey dispersal and have a honey guy that goes back, granted we're not at that stage yet, but that's because Cologne is pathetic in every sense of the word. You also get loads of hemp. I don't want to worry about that right now. Still, honey center, Lübeck, off you go. I'll deal with it if it becomes a problem. Honey west. And there's hunter, but nobody cares about hunters right now. Okay, mead time. Mead is produced in Scarborough, quite a lot of it this time. Bergen and Stockholm. So, quite a few places. If I can remember a thing here. Bergen and Stavanger, right? No, it's Scarborough. Snip, snip, and we're good, right? Scarborough is out. Bremen is out. Excellent. Huh, gotta do that twice. How about that? Scarborough and Bergen. Snip, snip. Really cuts down on some of these times, doesn't it? Then there was Mead Centre. I don't think anyone was doing it centre though. It was Stockholm over in the east. Granted, they're doing a pathetic job of it because they got no honey, but that's someone else's fault. Now meat. Meat is all produced. No, Oslo counts as centre. Still Stavanger and Bergen. Don't you both make me meat? Just checking my meat here. Bergen, Stavanger, Oslo. Bergen, Stavanger, Oslo. Good. Snip, snip. Meat Centre just needs to snip out the Oslo, making it a really efficient trade route. Look at that, 8 cities in 11 days here, it's really good. Meat East is fine, because although Stockholm can make it, it doesn't. Metal in the centre. Bruges. Okay, 4 different places. Helsinki, Bruges, Danzig and Næstved. Although Næstved do produce metal, it's not a lot of it. Nonetheless, they shouldn't be included in this. So Næstved, you're out. Metal in the east can obviously drop Helsinki. Was that all though? Metal. Bruges, Næstved, Danzig. Danzig's another joke town, but we'll still cross them off. And over in the west, Bruges is crazy about that metal. Yes, they are. Well, the only place I have right now that deals in 100 metal, so figures that's quite a lot. Snip, snip. Put another one for the center, and I still cut off Nevsted. Nimwegen, Novgorod to Helsinki with the cheese. I just wish Novgorod would bring out a lot more cheese. Alright, pelts. Pelts are troublesome. Nonetheless, they are produced in Rippen, Flensburg and Nevsted, so I need to drop those ones off. In this case it's Rippen. Ripen? Again, whatever the case, snip. Center's more of a thing because Nevsted do them. And Flensburg, actually. Yeah, so both of those go. And then nobody in the east does it, that's fine. On the standard setup, pelts are, if I recall well, only done in the east. Same with cheese. Grommet. Alright, pitch. Ooh. Pitch is done in Visby, Aarhus, and Gotham City. Visby and Aarhus are both on the east. Visby, Aarhus. Away they go. Neatens things up quite a lot. Pitch center, it was Gotham City, right? Away it goes. Snip. Nobody in the west does pitch. Salt. Salt is pretty much everywhere. Although, interestingly enough... Okay, no, it is... Let me check that. Okay, salt is only produced in one inland city, and that's Berlin. Probably a message there. Oslo produce salt, but it's not even enough to keep up with our meat production, so I can't snip the Oslo. So I only need to think about snipping Boston and Riga, so east and west. Boston and Riga. There goes Boston. There goes Riga. 'Cause Riga should be producing a ton of salt. There's no good reason for them not to. Boston and Riga. Supply stuff, that's fine. Todos, tools. Now, tools are produced in Groningen, Flensburg, Malmö, and Gotham City. Well, that's 4 to remember. I'm not good at remembering. Okay, you're in the east. And none of these are east. That's kind of handy to remember. Just center and west. Center is Gotham City and Malmö. Malmö, and did I already tick it off? Excellent, I was forward thinking there. Ah, but it's Flensburg as well. And then there's you over in the west, which means Groningen. Groningen has to go down. And it does. Snip. Then there's wine. Wine is only produced in the east. Wine Alberg, wine west, wine center, wine east. So there's only one doing the east. That's fine. But still, I need to snip off. Let's see, Danzig and Kungsberg. Neither of them need it. Then there's wood. Where isn't wood produced? It's in 5 different places. Alright, center first. Gotham City produce 11 wood, which is probably enough for pitch and then some, but I want to make sure. Gotham City. Pitch requires like 62. You produce like 61? What? Scales of production. Hello? Oh, and they produce tools. Okay, then Gotham City absolutely needs to be remaining on the wood side. Aarhus absolutely does not. So Aarhus do not, that's fine. And I already have them off, that's handy. Danzig, interestingly enough, produce wood. And it's not for anything there, so I can take Danzig off when I do the east. When it's center though, it's just Aarhus to worry about, so no need to worry about center. West, on the other hand, Haarlem produce a ton of wood, so away they come. And who else was there? Scarborough produce a tiny bit of wood, but it's more than enough for keeping up with their own production, so Scarborough can go. Or more than their own needs, rather. So Scarborough's gone and Haarlem's gone. Gotham City, Aarhus, Danzig, good. In the east though, Danzig and Aarhus gotta go. Aarhus and Danzig. West again, it was Scarborough and Haarlem. Man, this has got to be relaxing for somebody, but it's not me. Center again, it was not Gotham City, they gotta stay in, so center is fine. Oh, the west again. Scarborough and Haarlem. And out they go. Tell you, if this all falls apart and I find that the older system was better, then I'll probably cry for having wasted what will amount to 2.5 hours of my night tonight. Wool in the west, well, the only place that brings us wool right now is Haarlem. 167 farms of. Which means Haarlem is cut right out of this. Goodbye. The others are fine. And that is all of them. Now, I have one more thing to do with all my fleets, is what you probably expect me to say by now, but no, it should be fine. All I'm really going to do is reactivate anybody that's... Well, no, I'll give it some time to pile up in terms of work. But I do want the Wildcard Thagnus and the People Mover to ditch those goods over in Haarlem, because I need that food flowing badly. And hey, you know what's fun? Clicking this button. Automatic. No way to patrol them. Alright, there we go. I gave you your ridiculous amount of goodies. And there was also a mover, people mover. Take your salt or else you won't work. Alright, excellent. That's not excellent though. What's happening? Plague has broken out in Visby, a pirate is sieging access to Riga, and somebody was elected mayor. I will win this, automatic. Look, I won again. Wait, who was fighting there? Kornbrook, where were you limiting access? Riga. Okay, which means you probably won. And you took no damage whatsoever. That's perfect. I don't know if that's a bug or by design. I hope it's by design, but I don't think these guys lose boats. What to make of Riga right now? I mean, what I should be doing is making enough money to buy out my competition everywhere so that I can keep strict control of the production of all goods and actually create a proper equilibrium. But maybe that's just nerd talk. Oh, I hate that. I have got to find a way to mod that out. I mean, nobody has found a way as far as I know, but I've got to find a way. Alright, that's right, we stopped in here, which means there should be some people to get as an escort. Jake, you deleted Bremen from one of your Mead routes instead of Bergen. Wow, Seru, you are on point, aren't you? Must have some German blood in you. Would you like some more? That would have been a Mead West then, so yeah, I cut out Bremen instead of Bergen. How much meat do I do in Bergen? is Bergen? I'm looking at my spreadsheet here. Can't even see it on the list. Okay, there it is. I apparently make 66 meat there. So yes, Bergen needs to go. And Bremen is back in action. Okay, well I did it right that time. Ha, similar names. They had it coming. So the money is flowing. Rostock's getting full of everything, as it should. Aalborg should be somewhat emptying out, although I don't think anything can empty that enormous pile of hemp. Which also makes me wonder, why is there so much hemp here still? I didn't still tell my counting house administrator. Okay, I'm trying to flood out my opponent, that's why. Well, that won't work anymore since, well, you know, we're actually taking away the hemp from here. It's less work just to do this legit. So sell it only if you can get 58 for it. And please don't buy it up at ridiculous prices. I've been still buying up the grain though. No, that's fine as it is. Good. Still short on grain here though. I mean, Rostock isn't exactly swimming in grain despite overwhelming production of it. So is Groningen not shipping its grain? No, it certainly is. Groningen does it, Rostock does it, Aalborg does it. I set up that grain thing to move from Aalborg. Unless it's not doing it properly. Or it was too small. Aalborg to Rostock grain, the unsinkable. That's not active, that's why. And yeah, could probably do an extra cog, because why not? We produce, well, takes 4 days, does 400 per day. Okay, that's more than it needs. Whatever, it'll do. Just keep that grain flowing, because these people are starving. But as long as the wood flows, that means the salt can flow, although it's not flowing hard enough. So maybe the wood does have to flow a bit harder, because I mean it's not getting to Riga, which is one of our main salt producers. Riga and Boston need to be drowning in salt. And wood, I guess. Boston, it appears, does not grab enough wood. Should have tons of it. Riga, you too, although I'm certain you are told to do that. Certain you're told to do that. So I need to find where the wood is lacking. Aarhus is meant to be producing tons of it. And I mean, really they are. Look at that, that's a huge amount of wood. But they're not the only ones that are meant to be producing wood. Haarlem, well I know they produce wood. Here it is, thousands of it. Perhaps it's just not flowing. Yeah, all these expeditionaries are taking up space here, but still. There is meant to be a wood brigade here. 600 every day, 6,000 every 10 days. So I should look for the Haarlem to Rostock wood now. The wood Holy Dosh. Okay, well that's part of the problem. It has a pathetically small capacity. And it takes 10 days to do it. It needs 6,000 capacity for what I want it to do. So it gets back and I tell it, you're bigger now, but you need to be even bigger. So I was going to bring 4,000 wood back to Rostock. Okay, good, we got plenty of wood coming in now. As it should. Oh, you're going back to Haarlem? Go back to Neustadt. Because you should be 6,000 strong. Get back to work. And then there's People Mover. Or Aalborg, I'll probably take you. Thagnus rather. And I'm going to offset on any excess here. Because it's our biggest producer, Haarlem. Which means... well no, it needs to keep the weed. Means those bricks and that wood. Maybe not all that wood, I don't want to break my own systems here. Need to be in Rostock. Well, I mean, actually, Boston is the one that needs it right now. Why create a middleman for myself? I have created every city Deer Hunter. At least every city that I can. So yes is probably the answer to that. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'll be even happier if London actually have enough goods to build that wall. And that is one of the things, a lot of my wood and clay is getting eaten up by my vast building projects. Now Rostock have all these warehouses, but it's still probably going to be eating quite a lot of storage cost for a while. But storage cost is paltry. Look at me, I've been holding spacebar for not very long and I'm sitting at 28 million. Visby is starving though, and I'm still concerned that the lack of grain in Helsinki and Stockholm and essentially the east is really burning, making me wonder, why does grain not flow in the east? We have it here now, so I look towards grain, the west, the center, the west, the east, the west some more. Alright, so it's possible that Usain Bolt is not big enough. I would like him to rethink his actions right now. And I'm going to run some quick numbers, so we're actually going to switch back over to good old spreadsheet here. And we're going to go to Hanseatic needs. Run some quick numbers because our eastern cities, they number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the population is going to be 8 times 10,000. Let's round it up and say it's 100,000. So their need for grain is going to be 3,052 every 10 days. This route takes 16 days, so might as well call it 160,000, which means their grain needs are just shy of 5,000. Keep in mind I had a 2,500 size thingamajigger doing this. So when we go back to it, I say you are going to be big. You're going to be very big. You're going to be 3 carvels full of grain, shipping it to the east so that these poor burghers don't starve anymore. In addition to that, I grabbed the wildcard Thagnus, who is getting back to Rostock lightning fast. He's going to dump all this rubbish here, pick up loads of grain, and I mean a load of grain. And then he's going to feed these people before they starve, because I am not going to be responsible for these poor people starving. Especially in Visby, where they are actually starving. I mean, they have a little bit of... No, they have no fish. They got a little bit of meat. No cheese. The lack of cheese is really quite disturbing, though. Take some food. Food tonnage is really... Oh, crap. Helsinki is now starving. You really don't want to have to deal with starvation. But I was too slow in the uptake for dealing with all that. So now Danzig, Visby, and Helsinki are all starving. Well, that's just a kick in the face. Riga are still short on wood though, and that's why I'm going to pick up a ton of wood and say, here you go, Riga. Oh, welcome to the family, Shansoy. Welcome to the land of wood, Riga. Now I should actually have some salt flowing in. Salt will help me get so much more food. And a big part of that is Haarlem simply having no salt. No salt means no fish, and it means no meat. Thankfully these guys actually get meat, so... Or they get salt to produce meat. Everybody wants this stuff. Okay. Disease in Stettin, but not a lot I can do about that. The money continues to flow in, and... all things considered, it's looking pretty good. We're not super overflowing with anything here. I think the wool is getting to where it needs to go. Can't remember who makes my cloth, so I'm going to have to check my production things again here. When it comes to cloth, as long as Hamburg is getting it, they're the only ones that really need to. And they're not. That's really funny. Probably tells me that the wool guy does not have enough ships. Whoever does wool, wool west, that is. I mean, there's two of you. You're in Rostock and you're tiny, so could you please be considerably larger? No, it's not fair to give you any Carvels. But I don't know, 2,000.